For today's project, you're going to need one 25 by 18 millimeter textured brain cab. These ones that I found are vintage and they came in pistachio and pink. A piece of Lacy stiff stuff, just a little bigger than your cabochon. Size 8 seed beads to complement your project. 3 to 3.5 inches of 32 pp snag-free Swarovski Crystal Cup Chain. This is the Crystal AB color with the gunmetal finish. A selection of feathers in different sizes. Size 6 or 8 pound test Fireline. I'm using the smoke color today. Scissors to cut your Fireline. You may also need to cut a little Lacy stiff stuff, a little ultra suede, and maybe trim up some feathers, but I promise you if it cuts your Fireline, it's probably going to cut the rest of those. Size 10 Tulip beading needles. 1/2 inch waterproof Band-Aid brand finger tape to protect your fingers from the Fireline. E6000 and a toothpick. Also, you'll want to have a paper towel handy when you're working with E6000, just in case. One snap open hair clip. The size really depends on how big you want your feather fascinator to be. Size does matter here. A piece of ultra suede, a little bigger than the clip that you've chosen for your project. And optionally, 2 little clips to help you hold things in place while glue dries. Begin by slathering the back of your cab with E6000. A nice even coat is what you're looking for. Place it in the middle of your Lacy stiff stuff and hold it in place so that it can dry a little bit. You want a little bit of seepage around the edge to kind of help it adhere, but if you have too much, take your toothpick, sort of roll it in towards itself, wipe it off on your paper towel, and then sit that aside to dry. Now it's time to choose your feathers. Pretty quickly you'll be able to weed out the ones that are too big or too small or the wrong color. Then you'll start to figure out the right configuration. Make sure to check them against your cab. And then, using your E6000 and toothpick, you're going to actually glue the feathers to one another. So keeping in mind kind of where I want them to be. I'm going to kind of take a little bit. And if you have to clear a little fluff away in order to get to the sort of stem, because we're mostly putting that glue right on to the stem or the shaft of the feather. And then glue that one down. Repeat for all subsequent feathers. Make sure to press down in between each one so that the glue adheres, and try to get the right side of the feather. Set that aside to dry. Having a look at your feathers, you want to kind of gauge which size clip would be better. I think that I'm going to actually clip off this bottom bit here and sort of shape my feathers, so I think I'm going to go with the smaller clip for sure. And get out your piece of micro suede, and making sure that the velvety side is facing out. You want to kind of lay your clip on it and see where this center piece here actually hits. Keep an eye on that and fold your micro suede in half. Get out your scissors and give it a little snip right about that place. Open out your clip and place it. That looks pretty good. Take it off, and using your toothpick and your E6000, keep your clip open. Take a little glue, and you want to slather it everywhere along the outside, but do not get it on that center bit there. Avoiding that center bit, continue adding glue to the entirety of the outside of the metal clip. Then pick up your micro suede and ease it onto there and clip it. Smooth around the edges to make sure that it's adhered properly, and clean up any big globs of glue around the edge. Set that aside to dry. Now it's time to place your cup chain. So you're going to get out your cup chain. I've got mine in a long bit, but if you want to pre-cut your piece, you can. I just purchase it in larger, longer quantities, and then for something like this, I can just kind of glue it around and then cut, so that I don't waste any of the chain. But that is a matter of personal preference. So you're just going to make a medium thick line of glue around your cab. You really don't want it to exceed the width of your chain. But other than that, it's kind of, you're just eyeballing it. And then you take your chain, decide where you want the end to be. Really, it won't be noticeable, or it shouldn't be noticeable when you're finished, so don't worry too much about that. But you just place your chain and push down as you go around. Place a few, push it down, turn it. Place a few, push it down, and turn it. Looks like that is where my last one will be. Give it a clip, place it, push it down, set that aside to dry. Now you're going to glue your clip to your feathers, but if yours is like mine, then you're going to need to actually shape up your feathers a little bit. So I'm actually going to cut the bottoms off of that. You know, that gets a little bit messy. And then sort of gently shape these guys. To my liking. And I think that's how I like it right there. So now I'm going to look at the back and decide, do I want to leave this square or do I want it to curve around my clip a little better? And I'm going to go ahead and clip mine. So I'm just cutting it more to the shape of the clip so that the backing is a little less noticeable. but there's nothing wrong with leaving it squared or rectangled, as the case might have been. Just try to get it fairly uniform if you can. And then just decide kind of where you want the placement at. I'm going to go just maybe a 1/4 inch or so up, I think. Then you're going to take your E6000 and give a nice, generous coating. Make sure to get the metal bits as well as the fabric bits. Then place. And this is where your tiny clips might come in handy. Go ahead and trying to keep the feathers out of the way of the glue. Maybe clip the top and the bottom, because it's on a curve, you see, and that's just a little bit tougher. Then you want to make sure to gently press down with your fingers. And if you get any big globs of glue like I did right there, gently just twirl in. You're just twirling it towards the project, towards the edge of the micro suede. You're going to set that aside to dry. Join me next time when we'll cover brick stitch edging and finishing of your Zombie Glam Fascinator clip.